My name is Don Martinez. I am the founder and chairman of a retained search firm. I have actually been in business for a little bit over 12 years. I was a former executive with the Walt Disney Company, and I also worked for the Boeing Company. I have an undergrad in mechanical engineering and advanced studies in human resources and organizational behavior, and also a Six Sigma green belt. What I'm going to talk today about is the principles of a career search. As Sylvan mentioned, what I believe is happening today, and truly some folks here, how many are actually employed? Okay, how many are unemployed? Okay, this is going to actually touch all of you, because at some point, regardless of where you're at, I want you to hear what I'm saying now. And by the way, you might want to take notes, because I only have 30 minutes. Usually when I do speak, I take the whole day, because my job is to help teach you fundamentals of what it is to find a job. It is a science that I believe every one of us needs to learn. Unfortunately, we didn't learn this in school. We learned everything else but that. So part of what we talk about is really having the right mindset. Mentally, you have to be prepared, no matter what it is that you're doing. It is one of the first fundamentals, as I call the principles of the career search. Most recently, an organization called Boeing. My wife happens to work there. I have many friends that work there. They all discovered that they were going to lose their jobs. And I started hearing these stories of people that had been employed for 15 years, 25 years, and even 30 years. And one of the questions that I asked some of these individuals, what was their plan to re-enter the job market? And unfortunately, during that time, during that time, people were feeling their emotions shifting. They weren't feeling excited. They weren't feeling joyful. And they definitely were not feeling passion. How many people love what they do for a living? I happen to be one of them. I love what I do for a living. It is not a job for me. There is a clue that people that are doing what they love found something. Every day for them it's passion. Every day they drive into work, it's not work. It becomes play. So for you, I ask you to really look at you being the architect of your own career. Employers today are making very difficult choices from an HR perspective. They're looking at talent internally, looking at core competencies, finding out who they need to select when they go through a RIF. Everyone know what a RIF is? It's a reduction of staff. Okay? When that happens, you have to ask yourself a question. What strengths and tools do you have in order to stay in the game of employment? The good thing is today you are here, part of Project Management Institute. I believe that continuing to grow and continuing to expand to your tools are going to be so crucial in today's market, in the competitive market. So mindset is probably the key thing. Really looking at trying to develop what it is to find your A game. Moving from unemployment to becoming employed starts with your mental mind. Finding that passion. Finding those strengths. Very, very important. My second principle is clarity. Clarity is basically the flashlight of your future. All of us have to be clear on the direction that we're going. What also happens during this time of employment There's a lot of confusion. People lose sight of where they're going. The first thing they do is they react. A lot of them will automatically send out their resumes because they've found something on a job board. As a search firm, I get somewhere between 700 to 1,000 resumes in a couple days. And unfortunately, what I found is that when they're applying for a particular job that I have available, they didn't read the job description. They just found a job that looked like it was a great job, but unfortunately, they didn't do their homework. Having clarity is probably the key thing, and I use this analogy or metaphor about the diamond. How many women know what the 3 C's of a diamond are? Go ahead. Jennifer? What's the 3 C's?
Carrot.
Go ahead and say that a little louder.
Carrot, color, and clarity.
Carrot, color, clarity. Okay? That is one form of creating focus. That is one form. We have to, as individuals, learn how to develop clarity in our mission, in our roadmap, to developing a very solid career path. I have changed positions only maybe twice in my career. I started off in engineering. I thought that that's basically what I was going to do for the rest of my life. At least that's what my father told me. I actually did what he asked me to do until I landed up being laid off myself back in the late 80s. But what I landed up doing, I said, you know what, I'm going to go back to school and I'm going to try something different. So what I did was I started making a list of all the strengths that I possessed. And I asked you today, each one of you, you need to write them down. You need to know what they are. That is the first step and fundamental that I believe that will help you. But in addition to that, as we were talking about expanding your talents to stay competitive in the market, you need to expand on that. Each of us have the ability to learn new things.